Hello, I'm Louise Grant. Thanks for joining us again with Angelique Moselle Robbins from Nashville, who is the internationally known channel of the divine intelligence angelic realm known as Geschichte. This video is one of a series of videos where we're learning what it's like in Angel's life to be a channel. So thanks for joining us. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
This
Good
is
to be back.
Yeah, it's been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I have learned so much. This is very self-serving for me because I have been so fascinated by everything related to the spiritual world since I was just a young girl, and remember reading books by Jane Roberts, who channeled Seth, and then early on in the years of Esther Hicks as she channeled Abraham, and Sheila Gillette with Theo, and then reading Conversations with God with Neil Donald Walsh, and all of those masterful spiritual books of today. So for me to personally be a student or apprentice of Angel-Geschichte is just beyond words what it has meant in my life. So thank you for all you do.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Absolutely. I want to ask some questions about the power of Geschichte and what you think of them as your teacher, because in Angel's words, they're very badass. They are, right? And perhaps even in their own words, they may have said that. They are so divinely intelligent. When those of us who are in their class sit with them for about 3 hours every week, and then we have other events as well with them and studies with them, but they're humorous, they're logical, they are attentive, they're heartfelt, but they are so wise. And this is my small perspective. I can't even imagine what you have in terms of the reverence for them because of the wisdom that they have given you for 20 years. So can you even begin to talk about how you feel about them?
Well, it's been an interesting, evolving relationship, because when I first met Geschichte, I was dying, and they were very intimidating. It was this huge tsunami of energy, and I felt like a complete peon. Here I was overdosing, I treated myself like crap, and I'm meeting God, and I just felt so stupid. Like, stupid is such a, I can't even describe how humiliating it felt. Just how, I just felt ridiculous.
Well, like you'd wasted your life?
Yeah. And like I was finally meeting, this beautiful energy of God, and look what I had done with what had been given to me. It was very humbling. It was humiliating. Mm-hmm. It was even more than humbling. It was just, ugh. So, that was my beginning stages with Geschichte. And during that experience, Geschichte was still hard on me. It's just like they are with you. It was, well, yeah, look what you've done. Okay, so here's your funeral. And I saw my whole funeral, and the funeral part really started to change my perspective on my life. And I had to work for it. I had to work for keeping my life that day. It wasn't like, and here you go, you're granted your life back. It was, yeah, why don't you struggle for the next 5 hours? Well, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. What you gonna pour into this kind of thing. And And I did. I exhausted myself, pulling myself back into my body over and over again, speaking to Geschichte about the changes I was going to make to my life, the changes I was already experiencing in my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I went through some type of test in that experience,
Mm-hmm.
where it was, is your heart changing on this experience kind of thing. And my heart did change in that experience.
Almost like they were a wise counsel. I won't say the word judge or jury, but they're...
There was definitely an element of that to
Mm-hmm.
it, but it's so hard to describe. It's not like, number one, it was a tsunami of energy, so I didn't see like different beings.
Right.
It was just this overwhelming, massive energy. I mean, just imagine being a grain of sand on the beach and seeing a wave come
Mm-hmm.
like that. Just like, oh, I really am insignificant. But I also can understand that I have completely trashed some gift that's been given to me.
Uh-huh.
And, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then over the next, years, Geschichte just became my best friend. I would constantly speak to Geschichte. And I was led to my teacher who channeled Michael, Archangel Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became really close with Michael. And through those years, it's kind of hard to say what's Michael, what's Geschichte. They don't feel very different. They felt very much similar.
Mm-hmm. It's all God energy.
Yeah.
Right?
And, just different names.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel in awe. I have felt like, a stupid little peon over and over again. Not because Geschichte or Michael is cruel, but because they're so smart.
Right.
They're so smart, they're so wise and powerful. The energy, everything trumps me. So it's been just repeatedly humbling.
Mm-hmm.
When I started channeling Geschichte, a new element to our relationship came into play, because when I channel and Geschichte basically takes over my body to speak to people, they were saying things that I was like, whoa, don't say that to someone. And so after the channeling session would be over, I would be really upset with them. I used to get pissed off at them constantly when I first started channeling. And they would say things to me like, we only spoke the truth. And, you guys got to get better at handling honesty. Or, we only spoke what's real. And, it's just like, well, suck it up. Suck it up, Angel. So there was that kind of...
A little bit of friction,
yeah.
but in a loving way.
Yeah. Just in a way of like, we know what we're talking about, we know what we're doing, and you don't. So there's that, And what's interesting is now that so many years have gone by, I think about some of the things that they said that I got upset with, and I've seen some of those things play out. So I've seen how accurate they were, even though I didn't know what they were talking about, and I questioned if they were correct. They were absolutely correct. I've seen them really change people's lives through being honest with them, even if someone was like, screw you, I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. I know that it actually changed their life. And I've learned from it, because I've learned that true love, when you really love someone, you're honest with them. And you're not caught up in constantly thinking about what other people are going to think of you or how they're going to respond to you. You're more focused on your love for them and helping them heal something. And so they've really taught me to be a better friend, a better partner, a better practitioner.
They truly are the prime role model example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Of how
so
to
I
live.
have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for Geschichte, and a lot of appreciation, and a definite camaraderie. And you know, sometimes I just think about my life, and I'm like, wow, it's like I'm living in some type of fairy tale. You know, it's just so magical.
Absolutely.
It's so magical.
I know.
And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do what I do, but it's also so rewarding. And, you know, I get access every single time I channel. I get access to information that's will blow your mind every time.
That's true. I mean, and I've only been in a fraction of the connections that she's had, the fraction for these last 3 years, but truly there's no question that goes unanswered. We can ask a question about the origin of the universe, or questions about Jesus' teachings, or just questions about humanity's path, or what true humility is, or how it is that we can heal our bodies energetically, or anything. And whatever question we ask, they answer. And you have access to it all the time.
Yeah, but you know, you would be embarrassed if you heard how much I'm like, really? Do you guys really know what you're talking about on that? I don't know. That doesn't quite sound right. And just how I'm so ridiculous in that way still. I'm still learning to just shut up, you know, like don't, stop worrying about whether or not it's going to look good that it's been said or whatever.
It's interesting. They will talk sort of in great generalities, sort of saying that they are like, you know, there's like 3 million of us or something like that. I mean, when we try to get an understanding of who are you when you say you're this angelic realm, these collective of non-physical beings, what the hell does that mean? You know, and I've heard them sort of try to explain that they are larger in mass than we can possibly even grasp.
Yeah.
And is that sort of how they describe themselves to you as well? Just
yeah, and I can feel their just trying to explain to us what they are, how they exist, is highly difficult. And you know, I don't remember who it was that they told one time, but somebody had asked about them, and it was in the way that they had asked, I guess. And Geschichte was like, you know, you guys are so arrogant about what you think angels are and what you think the angelic realm is, and you honestly have no idea. You have a preconceived notion about what we are, and you try to make anything we say fit into it. And that makes it so difficult for us to explain to you who we are. So I just try to look at the facts, okay? The facts of my experience. Those facts are, number one, when I was dying, I saw/felt Geschichte, and it was enormous. It was enormous. It was beyond the size of the ocean. So there's that. You know, how do you explain that?
right.
I also take into consideration that somehow that energy moves into my body and speaks. Okay? So obviously I don't understand that because I can't move into your body and speak. You know? So what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And then I take into consideration that they say they have been around since humanity began, and that they have been assisting humanity, observing humanity, helping humanity, understanding humanity since we began. Okay. and that we don't even know how long we've been here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot longer than we think. And I take into consideration that they call themselves the angelic realm, and that there must be some correlation to what we've learned in regard to that for them to call themselves that.
Mm-hmm.
And that in the most basic understanding of angels that we have, they were connected to the Creator. Okay.
Right.
Messengers of the Creator,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
Yeah.
So those are the things I just kind of try to remember, and it makes them more abstract to me, which I think is more useful in understanding them, instead of trying to make angels like humans and have bodies and
Sure.
be individualized and all of that, because Geschichte has said so many times, you know, you guys are the ones obsessed with names, not us.
Right. So for you, I hear you saying they are, yes, they are a teacher who you have great reverence for. They're also a best friend. You have both respect as well as just, you have fun with them.
Yeah, I do have
Right?
fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great,
I'm like their naughty little kid. That's how I feel.
what are we going to do with Angel?
Yeah.
She didn't listen to us.
Yeah. But we love her.
We love her. They do.
Cute, stupid little thing. No, I don't think they actually think that about
Of
me.
course
but,
not. You
but
are. You're a
that's the
messenger.
kind of you know, jovial, kind of light-hearted relationship I have with Geschichte at this point.
And they are very funny.
Yeah, they are.
And I will give one little final thing before we go. They actually love to eat chocolate, and they love a glass of red wine. And whenever we bring any of that to class, Angel will be like, oh, I really don't want a piece of that chocolate cake, but I know Geschichte is going to love it. And then we will watch Angel, Geschichte, eating the cake, and their facial expressions like, oh, this is so good. More of that red wine. Oh, it's delicious. And so those of us in class were like, what is going on here? Why do they enjoy this food? And you said, well, because they don't eat food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know. Well, if they don't have a physical body,
Right.
then I guess they wouldn't eat any food.
So they get to enjoy it through Angel's taste buds.
Yeah.
And they're quite selective, and they really like the desserts, and they appreciate the wine.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It is fun.
It is funny. No. All right. Thank you for sharing with
You're
us
welcome.
your adoration and respect for these wonderful beings known as Geschichte. So hope you enjoyed our video. Please tune in again as we continue in our series with Angelique Moselle Robbins, who is the channel for the angelic realm known as Geschichte. Talk to you later.